Another day, another dollar. How's it going, everybody? My name is Infamous Isaac, and I'm here with a video on Black Clover, arc number 6. I'm talking about arc 6, and this one's, 15 episodes, 27 chapters, so it's longer than the last ones that we've had, probably the longest so far. It's a lot to talk about, so without further ado, strap in, get some food, get some drink, anything that you can enjoy, and get ready for this arc, my opinions on it, because it's gonna be surprising, to say the least. But yeah, hope you all are ready, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so the spoiler-free section, right? Let's get right into it. So this arc, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like it as much as the last one, and literally the last video I called it praising peak Clover, but this one, it was a significant drop for me. And it's not me saying like, oh wow, this just out of nowhere took a nosedive. I just mean me personally, I didn't enjoy it as much as or this arc as much as I thought I would, because this was the arc, like the final full arc that I saw before I stopped watching Black Clover. So I remember this arc being really really good, at least for me. And rewatching it, it was just like I didn't get that same impression at all. I felt underwhelmed. I felt bored. Overall, I guess just unimpressed is one of the other words I would use, one of the other words to describe it, which sucks because I can recognize that this arc is the natural escalation for the last arc, and you would think that because it is bigger and better, that I would like it more than the last arc, which I really, really liked. But I didn't. I didn't like this arc much at all. I like. I'm gonna give it a six. I am gonna give it a six in my rating. I just don't feel like this arc is my favorite. I can't, in earnest faith, say that this arc is my favorite, nor say that I enjoyed it. I enjoyed bits and pieces of it, but I didn't enjoy it like fully, as nowhere near as much as the last arc. And you can just tell the difference when I'm talking about this arc in this video and then the last arc in the last video. Like you can tell the difference in the way I'm talking about them. The last video I had certainty, and this one I don't, which really sucks. Because I was super excited to see what was gonna happen. Then I was really excited, and I feel like this is more my fault than it is the author's fault, because this arc sounds like it's a lot of people's favorite, and I don't want to drag on it and be like, oh, this arc just sucks. No, I genuinely just don't feel like I enjoyed it, and that hurts to say because I enjoyed it so much when I was younger. So I just couldn't tell you what it was, because the setting really cool. The setting is really cool. The story makes sense. I don't have a problem with the story. I know the issues that I have with this. I just can't mention them in the spoiler free stuff. But I do have issues with it. But overall, it's a six for me. This arc is definitely a six. Animation got better, but not the greatest. It has some like pain Naruto animation where you either like it or you don't. This one I thought it was alright. I didn't think it was like offensive or anything like that. And it shows the promise that the show has with the animation. The story, again, thought it was fine, thought it was okay, thought it was good at some points even. But I even mentioned music in the show. Honestly, I don't know why I would. I don't really like it. Doesn't stand out to me that much, so I'm not gonna mention it. But yeah, that's the spoiler free section. All right, so if you don't want to be spoiled, just leave the video now, or you can, well, yeah, you can just go through the spoilers and not care. It's up to you really. But just be warned, I am going to be spoiling this arc. I'm going to be talking about it extensively. So yeah, just be warned. So I'm going to start at the very beginning, after the last arc where Asta, Charmy, what's his name, Finral, and Yami go to the Wizard King's office because they have to check in with him after all the stuff that happened in the Sea Temple. And Asta, broken arms, crazy, crazy. Everybody else is fine though. And they're all talking. Finral's going around chatting up with some woman, while Charmy is with Asta and Yami talking to the Wizard King. And they're just chatting up, catching up on everything. Get a request from a border kingdom. I forget what it's called, Dayton, or no, that's a Cincinnati city. But it's a city on the outskirts of the Clover Kingdom, and they have to go over there and help them because, well, the Golden Deer are there to help. That doesn't mean that they have enough help. So Yami, Charmy, and Asta go over there. Charmy being Asta's chaperone, and Finral takes them over there. Here we see Yuno again, Mimosa, Klaus. We actually get to meet Finral's brother. Uh, I forgot what the dude's name is, but he's an a-hole to say the least. He's not a good person whatsoever, treating Finral like complete garbage. And we get to see the golden deer really just go crazy, see their powers, see their synergy, see Yuno and how much he's improved, and just overall seeing what the top squad can do. And it was cool. I really enjoyed it. Like this introduction to this arc, I enjoyed a lot. I really enjoyed it. I was still riding the highs off of the last arc too, so it only made it better in that regard. But regardless, we see Yuno and Asta talking. Charmy, since she fell in love with Yuno, she went because of him. So it's like, oh, that's why she's here. But they're chatting it up. It's cool. It's cute. You have Yuno's fairy spirit now having more of a personality. She's a yandere, but also she's very jealous. Well, actually, not even like a yandere. She's just very jealous of other women that Yuno talks to, even other men like Asta, where she wants all of his attention. But then when he sees Asta, he actually starts smiling, and it's just like, yo, why don't you smile for me, huh? What's going on? What's happening? And so they're chopping it up. Yuno sees that Asta got his arms broken. He's like, yeah, if that was me, I wouldn't have let that happen. And Asta's like, dog, just wait and watch, bro. Just wait and watch. And it's like friendly rivalry. It's really cool, really cool. But then we see this invasion is happening is because of the Diamond Kingdom, and they're trying to take what's it called, Clover Kingdom by surprise because of the Midnight Suns, and how they're launching attacks on the Clover Kingdom. And so they get stomped out quickly. There's no point in mentioning the people that fought here, because they were basically nobodies. You'll see important people later on, but the threat is neutralized. So next we go into what Yami was doing during all this, because Yuno actually fought one of the big threats and he took him out pretty easily. While all that Asta stuff was going on, Yami's talking to the leader of the Golden Dawn because he has suspicions. He confronts him on if he can take off his mask. He does, and he's severely scarred because it's just, I guess, genes and degradation of the skin. I don't really know what it was. He didn't specify, but it was basically a way to prove that he wasn't in cahoots with Licht, the leader of the Midnight Suns, because they have similarities in the way that they look. So Yami just wanted to confirm that to see, like, oh shoot, okay, what's happening? Like, what's really going on there, bro? But they confirmed it. Yami's suspicions died down for now, and they all leave. They all leave the kingdom because they they dealt with the threat and they succinctly stomped it out, no less. So Yami goes back to, well, what's it called, the Black Bull's hideout. Everybody is there. They're chilling. Asta actually stays with the doctor in the Clover Kingdom for a little bit to find out what's wrong with his arms to help him. And we get a huge reveal. Asta's arms are broken permanently because of the curse that's been put on them. And because he doesn't have any mana, there's no real way to heal him. At least in the means of the Clover Kingdom. He's stuck. Like he doesn't really have a means of improving. His journey might end here, and everybody, once they find that out through Finral, it's like, yo, no, we're not gonna let the journey end here. You're not done. And so everybody just has this agreement that like we're going to help Asta out because he's helped us out so much. So everybody goes on their separate ways trying to find everybody. And this is where my problems start arising with the arc. Because Noelle and Finral go to find this one guy who's a part of Asta's past. And his name is Fonzel Kruger. He's a guy who's from the Diamond Kingdom. He's an ex Diamond Kingdom member, and he met Asta during his training. Before the Magic Knight's entrance exam, Asta was actually training with Fonzel. And the reason was because they met each other in the woods that is like his near Hodge village, and they were chopping it up. They were having a good time, and Fonzo was teaching Asta how to use a sword because Asta never used a sword before. He was always in conditioning and training, but never like sword training, never weapons training. So Fonzo was helping him because he knows how to use a sword. So it's like, oh shoot, all right, let me help you out, big dog. I bet. Then we'll get that done. We'll get that sorted. And so while they're doing that, one of his old disciples actually from the Diamond Kingdom came to assassinate him, and Asta, with his "my friends are my power," basically convinces her like, "Yo, stop that." And then she's like, "Okay, I'll you're a dashing guy." And then he's like, "What the heck are you talking about, bro? I gotta get some sleep." But Fonzo manages to leave because of that. He thanks Asta and he's on his way. And that's the first encounter between Asta and Fonzo. And my thing about it is it sucks because there's no giveaway that Fonzo was in the beginning of the show. Like no telltale whatsoever. Or at least any that I noticed. I didn't notice any. If you guys did, let me know. But I wish that Fonzo was smoothly put into the story more than the way that he was. Because you can tell that he was thought up of for this arc and not beforehand. And it's like the concept of him being Asta's teacher before the magic entrance exams, like I think that's really cool. I like his character. I think he's a cool character overall. I just don't like the way that he was implemented. I think that's really like what bothers me the most about his character. Because we're just supposed to treat him like he's been here for a long time, bro. Like we don't know him. Like we're on some Tsukishima stuff right now. It's super weird. It is what it is. He's introduced. He's a part of a story now. We'll move on to the next time. This one bothers me more though. So Fonzel shows up again, but now Asta is in the Black Bulls, and this was a bit a while ago. Like Fonzel shows up again near the Black Bulls, and he's getting chased by Diamond Kingdom assassins because his student is still a part of the Diamond Kingdom, and he just so happens to be near the Black Bulls, and he gets caught by Noel. They capture him, and then Asta shows up. He's like, "Oh shoot, what you doing here, dog? What's going on?" And then he explains the story. They help him out. They manage to help him find his wife, who was the reason why he was doing this in the first place. And now it's him, his wife, and his disciple because she was actually a part of this plan because she knew where his wife was. So they all worked together and they all pulled through. And that's the end of that. They beat the magic or the Diamond Kingdom people that came after him, and that's the end of that. One that bothers me the most because this is another thing where they're like they're acting like he's been here before, but I know that the mangaka didn't have him planned. There's no way because it just feels so heavy-handed in such a forceful way to introduce a character. It doesn't feel natural whatsoever. But I like it. Again, it is what it is. He's a part of the story, so we're just gonna move on. But next we have the main crux of the story, the witch, the witch forest. So this is where Vanessa is actually going. This is where Fonzel and his group, which is Noel, Finral, Fonzel, his wife, and his disciple, are all going as well, like unconnectedly. And you have Asta being dragged along with them. So they don't know that Vanessa's going there, that she's already there, but they're going over there to basically ask for help from the witch queen. And Vanessa, on the other hand, is there to ask her mother, who is the witch queen, for help. And so they converge on that one spot, which is don't allow men in there. It's like Amazon Lily from One Piece. It's like men aren't allowed in the witch forest. So it's like, oh, it's very frowned upon. But they converge on Vanessa, and now they're just basically asking her like, yo, can you help heal Asta? At first she says no, but then Diamond Kingdom and Midnight Sun groups show up. So you have Mars and a new person. I forgot Lados or Lavos. I forgot his name. But two people from the Diamond Kingdom and a bunch of other people. And then you have the Midnight Suns group, which is the the girl, the salamander fire breathing girl. She shows up, and it's basically a two-prong attack, like completely uncalculated, or at the very least from the Midnight Suns perspective. But for the Diamond Kingdom, it was completely projected to happen because they were going to use the commotion from the Midnight Suns to capitalize and take over the witch's forest and all that stuff. So now the witch is put in a precarious situation. So now she accepts Asta's help and she heals him. She heals him, and now he's all good. He's even stronger, if anything. And Asta, Noel, Vanessa, and Finral go to deal with the Midnight Suns, while Fonzel and his two other acquaintances, or well, his wife and his apprentice, go over to deal with the Diamond Kingdom, since that's where they're from. So it's split, and I actually prefer what's this dude's name? Asta's side a lot more, but that you'll see why later on. Also, because he's the main character, but we have this really cool fight with them, And probably one, probably my favorite fight around there. It's hard to say honestly, but I enjoyed the fight between all four of those people versus the Salamander girl. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a really good showing after the Sea Temple, how stressed and how worn down they were compared to now, where they managed to take down one of the three Midnight Suns with ease, honestly, thanks to the help of Noelle with her strong magic, Finral and Vanessa having crazy powerful potential magic, and then Asta just being rejuvenated and better than ever before. So they managed to take her down with ease. And on the other side, you have Fonzo having a lot of trouble with the dude that came with Mars, and he actually brings them over to Asta. While I like Mars, in reality, he isn't fighting against Fonzo. He's going through his own stuff. But once he sees Asta, he understands like, yo, nah, I'm here to help Fonzo. So he helps Fonzo betraying the Diamond Kingdom, and now it's like, oh shoot, okay, oh, you betrayed me, Mars. That's crazy. I'm gonna kill you now. And so, while they're over there with Asta, Mars sees someone that he recognizes from his past, and also Asta helped him basically change after the stuff with the dungeon. He changed for the better and started thinking more about his past and who he used to be and Fauna. And so seeing the salamander girl, it reminded him of Fauna because that is Fauna. Like that literally is Fauna. The person that he thought he killed, but she was rejuvenated and brought back to life thanks to her power. And so the Midnight Suns, they took care of her because after she was experimented on by the Diamond Kingdom, they threw her out and Licht took her. So she became a catalyst for the memories of the elves that he was holding in her. And now she's losing her mind because she doesn't know what's happening. They managed to take off the eyeball that's attached to her head that shows like, oh, Licht is taking control of her, and now she's the real Fauna, like she's actual Fauna. So Mars and Fauna are back together. Fonzel and his group are all back together. Asta and everybody's back together and just happy. Like they won. They basically won. But the guy who they were fighting before from the Diamond Kingdom, he's not done. And his power is that he can absorb magic and just basically utilize it for himself and just take it in its purest form. And he absorbed Fauna's energy and just became correct. And Asta, since he was on the brink of collapse, he couldn't beat him. And so now we have the reveal of the Demon Slayer sword and the transformation that it brings, turning Asta into a literal demon, the five-leaf clover. And this episode, it was hyped up. Like it was really hyped up. This was the episode that I remember being crazy, genuinely crazy, and it delivered. Like it genuinely delivered. It's such a far cry from the early episodes that we got, and it's so good. It's generally so good. I really enjoyed that part. But long story short, Asta does beat him, but he's losing control. He's literally just tweaked right now. And then the Witch Queen shows up and she's like, haha, this is all part of my plan. I'm gonna take control of you, Asta, and you're gonna be my servant, and then we're gonna live like this for the rest of our lives. And then we're gonna keep Vanessa, and then you're gonna kill all your friends. And then Vanessa's just like, dog, what are you doing? Stop. Stop being like this. And then the Witch Queen forces Asta to kill his friends, starting with Noelle and Finral. And then after that, Fonzo and everybody else. And Vanessa unlocks her power. So if you remember, Vanessa's power is string. And string is really powerful because it can connect to the threads of fate. So the Witch Queen is trying to get that power and harness it. But Vanessa couldn't do it because she was trapped all along in a cage, not learning, just suffering. And so when Yami broke her out, that was when she truly started living. And now that she has a true family and not like the Witch Queen, who isn't really her family, like in terms of by actual familial bonds, they helped her, and she rose above the occasion and became cracked. She has a little cat now made out of yarn, and it controls fate. It can control fate in her favor. Super cool power. Genuinely an interesting and neat power for sure. But they managed to beat the Witch Queen, basically show her the error of her ways, and she's like, all right, Vanessa, I'm sorry. I'll heal you guys all. And I realized what I've done, the mistakes that I've made in raising you. I'm sorry. So she heals everybody and she leaves. They all meet back up in her domain. She starts explaining what's happening, and after all that reconciliation, Vanessa still feels a way about her mom, but it is on the path of, you know, well, not 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 reconciliation because that's the word that I just used, but I guess rebuilding that bond in a sense. I know there's a word for it. I don't know exactly what it is though. But whatever. And now they're back at the Black Bulls hideout. And Vanessa, she's doing good. She's living large. Asta's feeling great. His arms are back. He's back to being the normal attendant, basically. And everybody's happy. We have one of the funniest moments in the entire show, if not the funniest, with Magna and Luck coming back, and you have them like supercharged, all the mana coming out of them, and they're just like, Asta, we couldn't find a way to save you, but we'll keep looking. We'll keep searching to the ends of the earth. And then Luck is just over here like, the mana is calling to me. Like he's Sigma, bro. And they're all just tweaking her super strong, and it's just hilarious. And it's just like, that's the only thing that he says too. He only says, the mana is calling to me. It's just so funny, bro. And you have Gordon and Ghosh going into a library and finding this wealth of knowledge, and they've come to a new bond, and they've tried to find ways to heal Asta, but they can't. But they're going to keep trying. And you have Charmy and Gray, and how they were in a forest of mushrooms and they were trying, but they failed. And it was just so cute, man. Like, it was genuinely so cute how much they were trying. And when they find out that his arms are better, it's like, oh, I'm either super happy or super upset. But in the end, they care, and it was just awesome, man. It was so awesome. And then after that, they have a huge party, and that's the end of that. That's the end of the arc. Asta has his arms back, and now we're on a new frontier, completely new arc. Old problems still present, but new older problems have been cleared as well. We still have to take care of the Midnight Suns, but at the very least, we took care of that pressing issue. And if I had to give my rating, I'm still gonna give it like a six, probably like a 6.5, being generous. Like, going back through it, I saw what I did like from this arc, and what I didn't like, and it again, it's just not like I'm calling it bad or anything like that. It just wasn't for me. I don't know what it was. I genuinely couldn't tell you why I didn't like this arc. I had my problems with the way Fonzel was introduced, yeah, and his characters, because his wife is alright, his disciples alright. Mars is amazing. I don't care what anybody says. Mars and Fauna are great. His buddy that comes with him during that raid, he's actually pretty funny. I like go lie. He's funny and cool. But the witch, I think she's actually probably the coolest out of everybody there because I just like her design and it's like her cold demeanor. But even she can see reason. And it's like, man, this arc has the makings to be one of the greatest arcs of all time, but it just doesn't deliver for me. And probably one of my favorite arcs. Like, if it delivered for me, but it just didn't. And I don't know why. I genuinely couldn't tell. I just feel so dissatisfied. And multiple factions clashing, have multiple characters being introduced that aren't, you know, already established from before. You have new power ups, new reveals, like all crazy type of lore reveals. It's awesome, you know, it's super cool. And we just get to learn more about the world building in the process. And you would think that I would love that, but it just doesn't connect for me. But yeah, you know, that's gonna be it for me for now. The MVP for this arc is definitely Mars. Shout out Mars. He's mad cool. But then after that, to the story, it was good. It wasn't bad. It was definitely good. And just overall, animation improving, genuinely improving. I love the change that it's taking. It's awesome, genuinely awesome. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope y'all enjoy. I'll see you all in the next video. This next arc's gonna be like a really, really long one, so it might be a while until the next Black Clover video. But just be on the lookout for that. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.